Good morning, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, I am going to be reviewing One Piece, the first part of Baroque Works, volumes 13, 14, and 15. And I reviewed these individually on Goodreads because I wanted to hit my Goodreads goal, and rating them individually would mean that I have more books which form part of my reading goal, and I would also like to crack my record on Goodreads for reading 17 books by reading at least 18 books in a single month, and for reading at least 547 pages in order to break my record for pages in just 1 month, which I managed to do, I believe, a couple of years ago. So it's about time that I changed that, you know? So the first volume, volume 13, I could say was a breath of fresh air where One Piece is concerned. So I am a huge One Piece fan. Let's just start by saying that, since I've never made that very clear on my channel. And I also recently finished watching the live action season 1 of One Piece, which I enjoyed tremendously and think is one of the greatest manga to live action adaptations of all time. Same thing with Alice in Borderland. And now that I've finished the East Blue arc, so volumes 1 to 12, I can safely say that this was a breath of fresh air. And I know a lot about the main characters, and watching the live action show helped too, I suppose. Although we didn't get to Baroque works yet, we've hardly hit the Laboon segment in the live action show. And I believe that this volume was based more on world building rather than characterization, as was the focus in previous volumes of One Piece, where, for instance, people like Sanji and Nami are concerned. And I believe that this was a fun volume full of deception and twists, and at this point I think the One Piece manga series is the one thing, you know, Luffy's optimism especially is the one thing that keeps me going, you know, that makes me happy. Not many things manage to do that, and Luffy is one of them. I rated this 3 stars, and it is important to say that they all have about 200 pages, and I don't think it's the best of volumes, that it's rather simple, but at the same time it is also a fun and quick read, and you know, you get to understand the world better while at the same time appreciating the characters more because you know so much about them already. Baroque works don't seem like much of a threat so far, save for one of them who can apparently manipulate things with her mind. I believe she has a devil fruit as well. She's eaten one of them. And kind of like an 11 sort of deal from Stranger Things, if you've watched that show as well. And I especially enjoyed the thought behind perspective when it came to designing Little Garden. Um, I suppose that it is quite difficult to draw the main characters as tiny compared to the giants, you know, living on the Little Garden Island, as well as the dinosaurs and all the prehistoric creatures over there. And I can safely say that the giants are also a hoot and a half, and I'm disappointed that one of them had to be nerfed so badly, even though he was triggered by humans, but I don't think that should have happened, you know. They're much stronger than that. Even though, spoiler alert, he didn't actually die. So I'll see how the story progresses in the next volume. So that's what I wrote in my review, but what I'll be doing right now since I've already read it. And now that so much is going on, you know, with the new Baroque Works arc, it is hard to stop reading the series. In fact, I believe that I'll be reading volume 16, 17, and 18 rather soon, and I'm going to try to buy as many volumes from the Malta Book Fair and from Comic-Con, which will take place next week. So in this volume, right, Luffy is in charge of taking care of a princess as well as his crew, and he's going to try to help her save her village. I believe it's called Alabasta, which is one of the arcs following this, and it is very similar to what Super Mario would do, but Luffy is not that much of a simp, I suppose, and he cares about his crew quite a lot. So, next I am going to review volume 14. Give me one moment to load my review. Okay, so today Goodreads seems to be taking quite a long time to load, and it is not a problem with my Wi-Fi connection, unfortunately. Okay, volume 14. So volume 13 was called It's Alright. Volume 14 is called Instinct. I also like how the chapters are so adequately named, you know? They don't reveal as much as they do in the anime, and hence they can't really be um, spoilers, which I'm not sure whether Oda had that in mind when he originally um, wrote the series and completed the chapters, but it's one thing that the anime should definitely be more careful about. So I rated this volume 4 stars, and I said that it's quite a great volume. And in this one, we get to see the true power of Baroque works and what makes its members so formidable. For the very first time, I believe Luffy and his crew was put in actual danger, and Luffy had to take some drastic measures in order to save everybody. And yeah, even Luffy found it hard to defeat some of the Baroque works members. Um, However, he does so anyway because he has all the plot armor, I suppose. Sanji never fails to make me giggle. He is definitely probably one of my favorite characters, if not top 3. And the way the volume ended was phenomenal, I believe. The way he just barges in and trolls one of the leaders of Baroque Works. I wasn't expecting that to happen, and he just did it. You know, it's a character I very much aspire to have myself. This one is a very character-driven story, and yet I am disappointed that the Giants couldn't do more, and that Luffy didn't use his ability to inflate himself like a balloon to become the size of one of them. So Luffy has the power of the Gum Gum Devil Fruit, right? So why wouldn't he just inflate himself to the size of the Giants in order to be stronger, you know? That always baffles me why he doesn't use his tricks in that way to their full potential. And one thing I forgot to mention regarding the previous volume, there is this sort of skit where Luffy has eaten a lot and he's fat, and I believe that that is quite a riot, you know? It's one of the best parts of the book. And I like the idea for the girl who can create emotions with colors through using paint. However, I also dislike her. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship because I hate manipulation, which directly influences the main character who can't do anything to protect himself. You know, it's the lowest of the low for me. When you trap a character using his emotions, that isn't something I like that much. You know, there isn't anything they could do. And the members of Baroque Works are annoying to say the least, and I have yet to identify their purpose. So while I think that they are formidable, they are annoying, you know. I suppose they want to take over Alabasta one of these days. However, they are annoying. They're not likable characters, and there are some villains which are likable. However, the Baroque Works members aren't, and it doesn't read as though they are trying to eliminate the Straw Hat Pirates because they know too much, but rather it seems to me that they have a lot of hatred stored within them for some reason, you know? They don't destroy or try to destroy the Straw Hat Pirates out of orders, you know, but rather out of hatred, which isn't something that makes sense to me. And I also wanted the dinosaurs to have more of a purpose on this island, but they, much like the giants, were nerfed, and rather they are trapped by Sanji and Zoro and eventually eaten, I suppose. And one more thing, if Baroque Works are after the princess's land and the princess is with the Straw Hats, wouldn't it be better for the Baroque members to attack Alabasta while the princess is not there, while she is immobilized on the island with Luffy and his crew? Why is it that they want to kill her so badly? What will they gain out of her demise? I'm not sure whether that was explained too well in the volumes, and I'm quite confused, you know? And it's not like she's doing much away from her subjects anyway. So, yeah, Zolo and his posing to become a wax statue was yet another common Roronoa W. Yeah, so there was this bit in the book where they were being turned into wax statues by one of the Baroque work members, and Roronoa Zoro started to pose in order to be immortalized that way. Obviously, he was later saved due to his plot armor. So next I'll be reviewing volume 15. So volume 15 is called Straight Ahead, and I rated this one 3 stars. And since I read this a couple of days ago, you know, I read the whole omnibus almost in a single day. I mentioned that I had a bit of a One Piece overdose, and it's not something that I regret. I would definitely do it again over and over again. It's a fantastic story fueled with creativity and imagination, and I don't say that lightly, I'm quite a harsh critic at times. And there is a lot of passion behind these two qualities too. Eiichiro Oda seriously knows what he's doing and he loves what he's doing, and that um, translates very accurately in the work he does. Um, I didn't particularly like how most of the volume had to do with Nami getting sick, they wasted too much time trying to heal her and trying to get to the Chopper part, and Chopper was not even introduced. I don't care much for this detour, despite it giving us several cool stories, and there were certainly many characters which are quite useless. I suppose they shouldn't have been mentioned, and I don't think we'll ever see them again. And yeah, I was hoping that Chopper would be added to the crew in this volume, but so far we've only been teased about what sort of person or character he may be, and I have my suspicions regarding what will happen since I've watched so many clips on TikTok regarding who Chopper is and what he does for a living. Um, I already miss the Giants, in this volume because they're hardly mentioned, and I also miss Laboon from the previous omnibus. Laboon the whale is one of the best characters who's not part of Luffy's crew out there, and I certainly want to see him again. I also want to see more of Sanji and Zolo, who hasn't been doing much, save for improving himself, Zolo or Zoro, it doesn't matter. He's been lifting a lot of weights in order to make himself stronger, however, he hasn't been a direct part of the story so far. Um, the starving, obese devil fruit pirate is certainly a menace who is pissing me off. There's this guy who would eat just about anything, and he's more annoying than the Baroque Works members somehow. I didn't think I'd have to say something so drastic. It is time for Luffy to teach the guy a lesson about monarchy and tyranny, and in other words, oppression, I suppose. And to be fair, this is the trajectory that the story seems to follow in every volume, Luffy saving people from oppression, from the governments, and with every volume we're approaching closer to the Alabasta arc. So, it also doesn't make much sense how the whole arc is called the Baroque Works, however we don't see anything at all for about 150 pages regarding the Baroque Works members because of this detour and because of Nami. So, one of the best things in the series is the dynamic between Sanji and Zolo, who are fantastic for comic relief when they are working together. And I said this, I believe, once, and I'll say it again over and over. I'm not sure whether I mentioned this ever, but Usopp is a useless character, and he doesn't do anything to make me laugh or happy. But Sanji and Zolo working together, they're just fantastic, fascinating dynamic. And Oda also has a way of mirroring the present with the past, which gives it more of a credible tinge, as though the history in the One Piece world is all real and exists in our own world. It doesn't feel like it's part of our imagination. It feels much more real, much like I believe the One Piece actually is. So it kind of does anyway on a literary spectrum, and many people will vouch for the fact that the One Piece world could be real for all we know, because there are pirates out there and they all have their goals and the dreams they'd like to achieve, and if they're not pirates, they're regular people like you and I who also have goals we'd like to achieve, much like me hitting 1000 subscribers very, very soon. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the like button, leave a comment, share with your friends, and subscribe, and as usual, I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and bye guys.